Alright, Schlockmeister fans, another re-review from my previous channel. It's The House Where Evil Dwells. Look out for that face in the soup. Let's check it out. Our movie starts in Kushiyata, Kyoto, Japan. So this Japanese dude comes home to find that his wife is stripping some other Japanese dude. And he's not very happy about it. He comes in swinging his blade and kills the guy, one limb at a time. Until he finishes him off with the head move. The cheating bitch is next. And when his work is done, so is he. Fast forward 140 years, and the Fletcher family is arriving in Japan, met by Doug McClure. That's Edward Albert and Susan George and their daughter.
I don't believe it.
And they arrive at their new home, which, not coincidentally, is the house we saw 140 years earlier. As you might expect, the house comes with ghosts. Those are the three participants we saw earlier. They seem to have teamed up now. The Fletchers are a loving couple in their new Japanese home. This dude comes to warn him about the house.
It is a pity you have chosen this house as your home. If you need me in the future, please come to the temple.
That's no problem.
Well, our three ghosts from the past sometimes walk into the bodies of people in the present. Simple case of possession. Sometimes the ghosts are assholes.
Do I have to give a reason? I just don't want that.
Be careful.
Well, guess what? Laura Fletcher is having an affair with Alex, Doug McClure's character. You see the parallels from 140 years ago? Meanwhile, Ted finds a Japanese girl to dance with, who happens to look just like the woman from 140 years earlier. These ghosts are appearing all over the place. Can't do anything without one of them showing up. It might be dangerous too.
The house you live in was the scene of a terrible murder in the middle of the last century.
Then we see a flashback to that woman, Otami, and don't know exactly what's going on here, but she had some sort of confrontation with some old woman. Tensions are high in the Fletcher household.
Every time you take out a bunch of Japanese businessmen who will have more money than we've ever seen.
That's business!
That's right. It's Japanese business.
Yeah.
Mom and Dad serve soup with a ghost in it.
Maybe you should write it.
No, I think the story's gonna write itself. I got the whole story roughed out. Now it's only a question of finding the best way to take it into a...
An awful face in my soup.
Come on, eat your soup for Dad.
No!
When she refuses to eat her ghost soup, one of the ghosts possesses her dad.
Eat it! Come on!
What are you doing? Get away from him! What's the matter with you?
Laura continues her affair with Alex. Here come the crabs. Dad had an accident, fell off a boat, and he's in the hospital, and Mom went to visit. Babysitters come to take care of the daughter, and crabs. The babysitter gets the hell out of there. leaving Amy behind to fend for herself, which she does. But at one point they follow her and chase her up a tree, which she promptly falls out of. So she's in the hospital now. She's going to be fine. But this leaves Mom and Dad home alone for a while.
1 week.
Tensions are still high.
You continue to write, and the things still continue to happen. When are you going to finish?
They decide enough is enough.
Everything's gonna be fine. Monk's gonna protect us. Tomorrow we're going home.
They bring over a monk to bless the house, and apparently it's working because it seems to be driving the ghost the hell out of there.
There's no one in the house.
Monk said not to let anybody in, but Alex comes over and gets let in. Ghosts like that. The ghosts then, one by one, start to possess each of them. And now they can fight better. Alex isn't going to win this one, though. Laura goes in for the hug, but gets the blade instead. And of course, history repeats itself. And that's our movie. All right, let's talk about The House Where Evil Dwells. This is a movie that I saw back on cable, 1983. I think it came out that summer of 83 in July. I think that's when it showed up on cable. Saw it a few times back then, saw it periodically over the years. I've always been a little bit nostalgic about this one, although I haven't always like overly loved this movie, but it's okay. It's decent, and I think I actually liked it a little better this time around than I have previous times. What we got here is it starts out in 1840 in Kyoto, Japan, and we see this guy come home. He's some sort of samurai. He sees his wife with some other guy, and he goes crazy, bursts in, kills them both, and he kills himself. Fast forward 140 years, the Fletcher family has come from the U.S., Mr. Fletcher played by Eddie Albert and his wife Susan George and their like 10-year-old daughter or something like that. I think he's a writer of some sort. He's come there to write, I guess, or do something. I don't know. But he comes. He's given a place to stay by this guy named Alex, who's a friend of the family. He's played by Doug McClure, who was in the movie Warlords of Atlantis, which I reviewed about a year or so ago. But anyway, so they end up staying there, and it turns out this house is filled with ghosts. In fact, ghosts of the 3 people who died that night back in 1840. Sometimes the ghosts are jerks by trying to scare them, breaking dishes and bowls, showing up in a bowl of soup. There's an awful face in my soup. And then they occasionally possess the father and wife, or man and wife, Eddie Albert and Susan George. They possess them too, and they get angry. It turns out Susan George is having an affair with Alex, their friend. So you can see the parallels already to what happened 140 years earlier. Well, eventually they decide we got to get out of here after there was a night where babysitter was with Amy, the girl, and these gigantic sea crabs came into the house, bigger than anything you'd ever seen. Although I think there are some crabs that actually do get that big. I'm not joking. But they attack them. The girl falls out of a tree, and then she's in the hospital for a while, so Mom and Dad are home alone. They bring over this monk to bless the house. They decide they're going to get out of here. They've had enough. Can't stay here anymore. So the monk blesses the house, basically scares the ghosts out of there. We see them scurrying, actually, leaving the house. He says, don't let anybody in this house. So they plan to leave the next day. Well, then Alex shows up that night. Even though the monk said, don't let anybody in the house, they let him in the house. And then he and Eddie Albert get into a fight, fisticuffs. They start fighting each other right in the room there. And then they start to get possessed by the ghost, because the ghosts can come in now because they let somebody in the house. So then they start fighting Japanese style and stuff. Eventually some blades come out. Is it a Bushido blade? I don't know. And Eddie Albert cuts off Alex's head, just like the beheading from 140 years earlier. Then Susan George comes over to hug him, and then he stabs her with a sword and kills her. Then he takes the sword and Harry carries himself. And then we see the ghosts wake up from the dead bodies and scurry off again. that's how our movie ends. The House Where Evil Dwells. Again, like I said, I think I enjoyed this movie much more than I did the last time I saw it. I thought this movie didn't hold up very well. Not that it was a great movie to begin with, but I was very nostalgic about this movie always, like I said. Now, I think I really enjoyed this a lot more today. It's kind of cool. We got a couple of nude scenes from Susan George, as well as the Japanese woman whose name is, I don't know, there's an H in it. Hakiyamoto or something, I don't know. But yeah, that's it. So anyway, House Where Evil Dwells, I have it on a DVD. I also have it on this Blu-ray here with Ghost Warrior, which came out in 1984, which I'll probably be watching this week as well, see what that's all about. But Shout Factory put this out, Scream actually, and it looks fantastic. It really does. So anyway, that's it. House Where Evil Dwells. This movie's getting a little pricey if you want this Blu-ray. I think it's in the $40 range or so, but it's cool. It's fun. You should check it out. So I will leave a link to it down below. You should click that link and buy it yourself, and then let me know what you think about The House Where Evil Dwells. Watch it. Bye.